Welcome to I Want to End This Love Game, or as I like to call it, Aishiteru Game. A show where two childhood friends, Miku and Yukiya, engage in the devious activity called the I Love You game, where the entire objective is to make the other person blush by looking them in the eye and saying,
愛してるぜ、ミク。
愛してるよ、ユキヤ。
Who starts a rom-com like that? I just sat down. It sounds simple, but 4 years into the game, they still have yet to come up with a winner because neither of these stubborn dorks wants to be the first to admit when the other makes their heart skip a beat. What they didn't know, however, is that playing the I Love You game comes with a major hazard. You see, at some point in their life, the I Love You game may have just been a haha funny game, but as science would dictate, there is a measurable limit to how many confessions a boy can tank from a cute girl before falling in love. As they enter their teenage years, their brains went from thinking, oh that's just Miku, to
What?
no Yukiya, that's from the other series. Over time, the game has evolved. It's no longer just about saying the words, they can now do anything to make the other person blush. And when they say anything, they really meant it. There's something magical about the childhood friend romance trope. Unlike adult relationships that can come with hidden motives, societal expectations, and be unnecessarily complicated, there's profound beauty in the idea that the person you are meant to be with is someone who has always been right next to you. In a typical boy meets girl story, the authors usually first need to justify how two strangers could meet and become interested in each other, but with childhood friends, they can skip the whole get to knowing and getting familiar part entirely. But this deep familiarity comes with a massive hurdle: complacency. Complacency is oftentimes the biggest anchor holding back childhood friends from developing into lovers. As long as they assume that the other person will always have a permanent role in their life, there is no pressure to change, there is no rush to pursue. And before they know it, they're gone, off with someone else, or they change, or they move away. The characters in Aishiteru game has to deal with something similar. As children, they were always inseparable, but as they grew up, Miku blossomed into a popular schoolgirl with lots of friends and plenty of suitors, while Yukiya remained a bit of a reserved loner. Because of this, a gap started to form, at least in his mind. Yukiya secretly feels inadequate next to the popular extroverted Miku, which is the biggest reason why he is hesitant to end the I Love You game by just admitting defeat and confessing. But you see, instead of wallowing about it, he instead puts in an immense amount of effort to become someone deserving of her. He works out, improves his style, and literally studies shoujo manga like a textbook to learn about what girls like. On the other side, Miku has her own set of insecurities. Since they've been together forever, she feels that Yukiya doesn't see her as a real woman. She watches how sweet and polite and nervous he acts around other girls and contrasts it with how casually he treats her. Somewhere deep down, he probably knows that she knows that he knows that she knows that they mutually like each other. But there's always that voice in the back of their heads telling, what if they don't actually see me that way, and instead all their flirting really is just all part of the I Love You game? And if so, is loving them really worth risking the most precious relationship that I have? Instead of holding them back, their fears of inadequacy and the dread of loss is the very thing that forces them to step out of their comfort zones and push their relationship forward. On one of those particular occasions, Yukiya, feeling like Miku is slipping from his fingers, decided to take matters into his own hands. After receiving some advice from a friend, he decided the best way to get Miku to fall for him is to show her a level of effort she simply cannot ignore. So, he asked her out on a date. Now, Miku is a simple girl at heart. She gets all excited, she got dressed up, expecting a normal high school date, and she would have been totally fine with that. But instead,
待たせちゃった？
いや、今来たとこ。
Yukiya takes Miku on this incredibly lavish date. He rents a gorgeous dress for her, takes her to a high-end restaurant where they completely stick out as high schoolers, brings her to a theme park, and literally gives her a tiara in front of a fairy tale castle. On paper, this date should be the ultimate romantic gesture that you would see in like the season finale of a romance anime, but the show frames it as beautifully awkward and uncomfortable for both of them. Why? Because Yukiya is acting super out of character from his usual self. He spent the entire date dropping cheesy shoujo one-liners, walking way too fast and incredibly stiff, and even disappearing at times. And while this plan may have fooled lesser women, Miku sees right through the entire act. And while she is overwhelmed by the sheer chaos of it all, she still finds it incredibly endearing.
だいぶずれてるけど、ユキヤなりに私をドキッとさせようと無理しちゃって。
By the end of the night, the facade completely cracks. Yukiya is entirely exhausted, convinced that he completely ruined the day. But instead of being disappointed, Miku is the one who steps in to comfort him. It's a beautiful, grounding moment between lifelong friends, where she reminds him that he didn't have to wear this mask just to impress her. At the same time, it further solidifies to the audience just how desperate Yukiya is to win her heart, not knowing that it was already his from the start. Aishiteru Game is a show that doesn't need cheap drama or wild juicy plot twists to keep you hooked. It relies entirely on masterfully crafted romantic tension. It's a tension born from two hearts that desperately long to be together but aren't quite ready to take that terrifying leap, forcing them to use the I love you game as a protective shield to hide their true desires. And because the show builds that tension beautifully, it makes every single milestone and emotional payoff feel 1,000 times more satisfying. Slowly but surely, the stakes are rising, the intimacy is deepening. Both of them thinks they're completely outmatched in this game. Both thinks they're completely losing the war, while we, the audience, get to sit back and enjoy the cuteness.
素直になれない幼馴染こじらせてもだえまくる様子を見守ろうじゃないか
Couldn't have said it better myself, Unk. If you're looking for a wholesome rom-com with genuine heartfelt character growth and one where the childhood friend doesn't lose, then you absolutely need to check out I Want to End This Love Game. And if you're like me and you love the childhood friend trope, then you might like this video where I talk about a manga where a girl and a boy pretend to be childhood friends and do all sorts of childhood friendly things. I'll see you later. Goodbye.